Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So today I want to talk about leverage and how it applies to real estate, which is the most obvious view of leverage, and then how it kind of applies to becoming more efficient and building a business and being able to compound your wealth even further. So first, let's dive into how leverage works in real estate. So the biggest form of leverage in real estate is obviously getting a loan on a property, whether it's a primary residence, an investment property. And, if it's a primary residence, you could put, as little as 3.5% down up to, 20% down, which is the most typical. So how is that leverage? It's leverage because if you buy $1 million home and let's just say you're putting 10% down for simplicity, you're putting $100,000 down on the piece of real estate and the bank is putting in $900,000 into the piece of property. So you're leveraging the bank in order to finance this home. And what's nice is if the property value goes up by $100,000 and you put $100,000 in the deal, that means you have a 100% return on your money. So the more leveraged you are, you can have higher returns on your money. And same thing for multifamily real estate. So like for me, my 26 unit apartment complex, I bought it for $500,000. I put 25% down, which was about $125K. And I put in $300,000 into the deal. So let's just say I'm all in for, for simplicity, $400,000. But I was able to increase the value to about $1.5 million. So I'm all in for $800,000, and I was all in for $800,000, $400,000 of which was mine, and now it's worth $1.5 million. So I forced $700,000 of appreciation of equity. So it's almost about a 200% return on my money, and that was over a quick period of time. And like I said, the returns are high because of leverage. So that's how I was able to grow my wealth of real estate using leverage. But what I will forewarn is leverage is a double-edged sword, right? So if you over leverage and you're constantly, buying real estate, stripping all the equity out, and then using that to go buy more real estate and leverage, you will own a lot of real estate on a very unstable foundation. And if something were to happen, that's when things collapse. So what I will say is in the beginning, when you're scaling and you're growing, you do want to leverage as much as you can. But once you kind of hit a point where you're kind of comfortable, then you want to take some chips off the table and you kind of want to start to deleverage a little bit. So I'll give me as an example. When I was scaling my 90 unit real estate portfolio, I was probably honestly 25% loan to value. So I have about 25% equity and about 75% of debt. So, but as I've bought my real estate, did my value add strategies, it shifted over to 50% loan to value, so 50% equity, 50% debt. And to me, it's a little bit comfortable, but how I kind of want to deleverage a little bit, to be honest, is I'm probably going to sell one of my investment properties and then use that to pay off my primary residence to wipe out my primary residence debt. So by selling that property, I'm taking some debt off the table, right? Because I'm cashing out my equity, paying off the debt. So whatever I sell it, whatever is left over, let's just say I sell it for $1.4 million. I have a $600,000 loan on it. I get $800,000. So I'm taking $600,000 equity off that, or of debt wiped out. Take the $800,000 equity, whatever's after tax, and then pay off this primary residence. Let's just say I pay it off. Now I take off debt off this property, right? So I would have wiped out a total of $1.4 million in debt, and then my debt or my loan to value would probably increase to 60% plus. So I would have 60% equity, 40% loan, right? And then if I'm ready to scale again, I might have to strip some equity out and ruin my ratio a little bit and then buy the real estate, stabilize it. So it's a constant balancing act where when you're in scale mode, you're going to be a little bit more leveraged than you like. But after you finish and stabilize that scale, you want to pause, reassess, and see if how you want to pivot to make sure that you're not over leveraged, right? So real estate, leveraging is a fine balancing act. So when you're scaling, you're going to a little bit leverage a little more, but once you're stabilizing, you want to take some leverage off the table, right? So that's how I'm probably going to do that with my real estate. So thanks to leverage in real estate, I was able to control it and build my $6.2 million net worth today. So now let's talk about leverage in terms of your time and your business. So another form of leverage is that In real estate, I'm able to manage 52 units while working full time because I leverage property managers who take care of the day-to-day actions, right? So if a tenant needs a repair, my property manager takes care of it. If insurance does an inspection and things need to be fixed, my property manager takes care of all of that. They take care of all the bills for me, right? They will take care of leasing the units out for me. So I'm leveraging their time, their knowledge, their expertise in order to scale my real estate portfolio and still work full time and minimize my time commitment, where I'm maybe spending about 4 hours a month on my 52 unit real estate portfolio, which is now stabilized, right? And that's thanks to property managers. I'm leveraging other people's time, right? And other people's knowledge. Another form of leverage is, using technology, right? You can use technology to be more efficient. I could train a virtual assistant to respond to my property managers instead of me, right? So I could train them to leverage out my time even further. I could, leverage other people's money, which I haven't done yet, right? I've just been leveraging the bank. But what people do is if you get to put 25% down, you leverage the bank for 75%, and then you leverage 25% of other people's money, or OPM is what they call it. I haven't really done that yet, nor do I have interest current state. I think I could build plenty of wealth without raising any money, to be honest, right? So if I just do it slowly over time and let my real estate compound, I can exponentially grow myself. So I have no interest in raising money right now, because to me it's more stressful to deal with other people's money than it is to just do it myself. So that's my current state. It's probably holding me from growth, but hey, to each their own. Another form of leverage, which is really nice, is media. So social media, you create content one time and you post it on YouTube, and now there's multiple videos of you out there explaining things. So I'm leveraging my time. When I'm asleep, when I'm at work, people are watching my content and they're hearing what I have to say, they're hearing my story, they're learning from me, and that's a form of leverage, right? They're able to, I imagine social media as cloning myself thousands of times, and then they're always talking and working on my behalf. And over time, the social media will start to compound as you have more and more videos, as your audience grows, right? So that's another form of leverage. So it's really crazy. So leverage, it could be capital, it could be people, it could be code, it can be media, right? Those are your main forms of leverage. And that's how people those entrepreneurs who own multiple billion-dollar businesses are able to do so many different things, right? Like Elon Musk, he runs multiple companies like SpaceX, Tesla, X, and he has the same 24 hours in a day as I do, but he has a higher form of leverage, right? And he has more systems in place that he can leverage other people and just focus on the tasks that he needs to do. So really, and that's what I'm trying to do too. That's why I'm very consistent in trying to create content, because I want to build that leverage, and I know it takes time, right? I knew real estate. It took me I think from 2017 to 2021, I bought one property every year and a half, and then which is fast to some people, but looking back, that seems kind of slow. And then all of a sudden in 2021, I bought 80 units in 8 months, because I built up that nice runway, I built up that compounding, and I was exponentially growing. And I'm waiting for the same thing for social media. I'm just slow and steady grind. All of a sudden one day I'm just gonna I'm at 3,000 subscribers. One day I'll probably double it out of nowhere, and it just would have been from one video. So because I understand that's why I try to be consistent and want to post things daily, because I understand how leverage works and how compounding works. So hope this message really hits for you, right? So the key is, in the beginning, you want to leverage, and especially with debt and real estate and loans, you want to leverage as much as you can. But once you hit a certain point where you scaled comfortably, then you want to kind of deleverage a little bit, right? Reassess your loan to value, and then from there, you want to see how you want it to re-leverage. Does that mean maybe selling a property to pay off some others, or to pay down some others? Or is it just not buying for a while and then focusing on building a business? That's what I'm doing right now, honestly. I'm just trying to deleverage a little bit. So, I'm focusing on, building up my social media business and my presence, while I'm just letting my real estate, deleverage over time, or waiting for interest rates to drop, so that once interest rates drop, then my asset values will go up, because people will start to overbid for them again. And then by then my equity will increase. And at that point I could, maybe do a cash refinance, take out some of the equity to maintain my 50%, loan to value position. If it were to increase to 60%, I can lower it back down to 50% and then go buy some more real estate, right? So like really that's all it is. I'm just waiting for my real estate to compound over time, and I need a distraction over time, which is social media for me. And then once it happens, I'm gonna, deleverage or take some leverage and then go buy more real estate. So, and then let that stabilize, force some appreciation, reassess my loan to value, and always maintain that 50% ratio, right? And that's really what my goal is. And then in terms of business, you want to optimize leverage, right? You're never over leveraged in business, because you can always, scale, right? That's how Elon Musk does it. Like you want to create more content, you want to build a team so you can leverage them out. You could create systems that you can leverage. You can even raise capital if you want to. You want to leverage other people's capital. So that's really kind of been my focus. Listen to a podcast about leverage and just want to share like what I learned to give you some value. So anyways, if you want to leverage my knowledge, my prior experience in multifamily real estate, consider joining the mentorship program. Otherwise, let me know what questions you have. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.